Hi there, we're back. Today we're going to talk about artboards. Earlier on in the course, I mentioned that artboard is like a page. But let's go to the real concept behind the artboard. Artboards are areas that you can lay your design on. And this design can be adapted for different devices and different screens. So artboards represent the region that can contain a design that can be printable or that can be exported to another format. While you're creating artboards, you can choose from a wide variety of presets and sizes, or even define your own artboards, your own customized size and artboards. Earlier on, around the CS version, you were limited to a number of 100 artboards, but now on the new versions you can have more than 1,000 artboards per document. Of course, that depends on the size of the artboard, but you can specify the number of artboards at the moment you create the document, or you can start creating other artboards during the document. Earlier on the course, I also mentioned this. I'm going to show you. When we went and create a new document, we were on this screen, and I said that if you click here, you could increase or decrease artboards on your new document. This specific document has only one artboard, but even though it only has one, I can create more artboards using this tool. This is the Artboard tool. You can access the Artboard tool also by clicking Shift-O on the keyboard. That's the shortcut. When you click the Artboard tool, the screen changes. The artboard name appears, and you're able to change this artboard or create another one. If you want to change the selected artboard, you have to click here, and you can see the artboard options. Or you can even change it on the control panel or on the property panel. So for example, on this artboard it has 512 pixels width and 512 on height. I can click here and change the height for 1080. I'm going to press Ctrl Z now to go back. Like I said before, we could also create more artboards. For example, when you have the Artboard tool selected, you can click somewhere, hold, and create the size you want the artboard. You can also create another artboard, for example. If you look at the artboard names, they're all different. I can change the name by double-clicking on the artboard on the top, or I can change the name here as well on the property panel. Like I said before, the property panel changes depending on the object that is selected. I have selected here the artboard number 3. If I click here, I'm going to select the number 2. Of course, I have to have the toolbar selected, the Artboard tool. And I'm going to click on the first one. Also, Illustrator allows you to overlap your own artboards. For example, I could have another artboard that is overlapping the 2 and the 3. Sometimes it gets a little bit confusing, so be careful. For example, if I create an artboard here, maybe I won't see it later. I'm going to click on the Artboard tool and move it a little bit. As you can see, it gets a little bit difficult when you create artboards that are overlapping one another, so be careful. One of the interesting things to use multiple artboards is to create, for example, a multiple page PDF. Therefore, you'll be able to print pages with different sizes, different elements, independent elements for websites, video, storyboards, or individual items for animation in Adobe Animate or even in After Effects. It's really cool. The Artboard also has a specific panel for it. If you go to Window, you can choose Artboard, and you can see all the artboards that were created in your specific document. You can rearrange your artboards as well. For example, number 1 can go down. If you click and drag, it will reorder your artboards. Be really careful when you do that. When you click in one of the artboards, it will direct you to that specific area. So I'm going to click in the artboard number 5. It has selected the artboard and placed the zoom at the specific size of the artboard. I'm going to zoom out now. Artboards can also be rearranged. If you click in this option inside the artboard panel, you'll be able to rearrange all of the artboards that you have in your file. I'm going to click here now. I can choose to rearrange by row, by column, in a straight line, in a straight column as well. I also can choose the order, right to left and left to right. I can choose the number of columns and the spacing between them. So for example, I'm going to choose 2 columns on this layout and click OK. So it has 2 columns and now it has created the rearranged of my artboards. I'm going to click again. Now I want them all in a straight line. I'm going to click OK and I'll see them in a row. If you think they're too close to each other, you can increase the size as well. Just click here and increase for 100 pixels. Click OK and the spacing will be different. It's really easy. I'm just seeing a strange thing because this artboard number 5 was not rearranged as well. So I'm going to click on it, zoom in, and move outside this artboard. And now I'm going to rearrange again. Click OK, and now it's rearranged. In the artboard panel, you can also select a specific artboard and delete it by clicking Delete Artboard. You can also include another artboard, and it will include a new artboard exactly the same as the selected one. Let's check out the artboard option again. If you double click on the name of the artboard, it will show you the artboard options where you can change the name, choose a specific preset. Let's say, for example, you want to change the preset to a A4 paper. All you had to do is select the preset and it's there. The sizes were established. Even though you selected the preset, you can still change the width and the height. The orientation of the artboard also depends on you to choose. You can choose from landscape, which is this option here, or portrait. Below, you can choose to activate the constraints proportions or deactivate it by clicking on the checkbox. If you mark this option, it will keep the aspect ratio of the artboard intact. For example, if I change the proportion of the height, automatically the width will change as well. For example, I'm going to change for 900 pixels and it will change the width as well. One interesting thing in Illustrator is that in most boxes you can do mathematical calculation on it. So for example, if I want half of this height, I can just click here and click in divide by 2. Just like in Excel or Google Sheets, for example. Press enter and the artboard changes. Let me check. 450. Because I pressed enter, it closed the artboard options. But I could have pressed times 2 or divided by 2, and then I could have pressed the tab key and it will change automatically. I can use plus sign, minus sign, times sign, divide sign in most of these fields. Also in the artboard options, you can show center mark, which means it displays a point in the center of the artboard. You can click on show crosshairs, which displays a cross lines through the center of each side of the artboard. And you can show video saved areas. This displays guides that represents the areas that fall inside the viewable area of the video. I'm going to mark all of these trees just for you guys to see. And then I'm going to click OK. So therefore I have the center, the video safe area, and the crosshairs. Going inside the artboard options again, I can fade regions outside the artboard and update while dragging. Below, you can also see how many artboards are available in this document. I'm going to click OK and continue now. Also, with artboard selected, you can choose to select multiple artboards. For example, if you click in one artboard and hold down the Shift key, it will select multiple artboards. Right now I have the 3, 4, and 5 selected. If you want, you can delete all of them at the same time. I'm going to create one more now. Also, you can navigate between all of the artboards created. It's very easy. All you have to do is press the Alt key and the arrow key on a window, or if you have a Mac, you have to press Option and the arrow key. I'm going to hold down the Alt and press the arrow key now. As you can see, I'm moving across all of the created artboards. It's very easy. I'm going to leave it the number 1 selected. With the artboard selected, I can also move the artboard just by clicking on it and moving around. Of course, you have to have the artboard tool selected. And this is it. We've talked about the Artboard tool. I hope you enjoyed it. I'll see you next time.